Hey guys, it's Dandy. So today I thought it'd be fun to do a flip through of my most recent travel journal and my traveler's notebook passport size. I took a short little trip up to down to Universal Studios for a few days with one of my friends, and it was a lot of fun. I explained this maybe once before, but I'll explain it again. When I go to Universal, I take a passport size traveler's notebook, just because Universal doesn't have a lot of paper ephemera, and I'm so busy when I go, I really honestly don't have time to write. I take a bunch of stuff in my travel pouch, thinking, yeah, I'll just journal when I get back to the hotel room. And then every single night we got back to the hotel room so late that I didn't feel like doing anything at all. So most of this was done when I got back anyway, even though I really tried. But I'll just take you guys through a little walkthrough of this. I wish they had the short trip, like the half size books in the passport size. I don't know if they do, they might, but they don't where I usually buy my inserts locally here. You'll see what I mean, but sometimes towards the end, especially for short trips to somewhere like this, I don't have a lot of ideas at the end, and so I just kind of like bullshit the last few pages. But you'll see what I mean. This is a MD paper cream, 64 pages, passport traveler's notebook size. I just wrote a little thing here to kind of like, I guess, like protect my journey, spiritual kind of thing for me, I guess. This I accidentally skipped. I was gonna turn it into like a title page. I guess I could put like a Polaroid there. I kind of forgot about that, to be completely real with you. So this is just kind of where I planned my packing and everything. This was some stuff I needed to buy before I left, and this was just the packing list for me. This is our sort of local airport. It's the closest one that is not a bagillion dollars to fly out of without going all the way to Atlanta, and I don't want to do that if I don't have to. But yeah, they just recently did a renovation there, and this whole terminal is new. It's just 2 gates, but there's also a little gift shop now and a cool little like area to charge your stuff and a big window to play and watch. And that's like half the excitement for me when I go somewhere is the airport and flying. It's just so fun to me. I like it a lot. The plane that connects this airport to the bigger airport usually is an Embraer Regional Jet 145, which are tiny little things. They're so cool. Did I write about it? No. But it holds like 50 people. The configuration is like 2 on one side and then 1 seat on the other side with the aisle going down the middle. And so because it's so small, they usually have to valet check your bag just for that one leg of the flight, and then you get it back on the jet bridge when you get to your next location. So super cool, super fun, and you get this little tag you get to keep too. And then we connected in Charlotte. I like connecting in Charlotte because I like Charlotte a lot better than Atlanta because it's mostly not as busy and you can walk all of it. There's not a plane train you have to worry about. It's all pretty much connected right there. And they have a big atrium where they have restaurants and stuff, and I got Chick-fil-A for lunch. We had a longer layover than I really wanted in Charlotte. I had already booked it longer anyway, so we'd have time to eat lunch. And then a couple days after I booked, they added an extra 30 minutes between our flights. So we had like 3 hours in Charlotte that was just like pretty much time to kill. So we definitely got to sit down and like slowly enjoy our food for once. At Orlando, I finally found a postcard. It's a gigantic fucking postcard. It's like 5 by 8. I don't know why they make postcards that big. It's so annoying. So I just scanned it when I got home and made it smaller to fit in here. This is the hotel we stayed at. We always stay at Dockside. I really love, this is like a budget hotel at Universal, but even then it's like one of the cleanest, most nice hotels I've ever stayed in. And they give you your own room key that you get to take with you when you go home because they print your name on it and stuff. and, you know, they're all different. I got a Harry Potter one this time, and they've got Jurassic Park ones, and all kinds of fun stuff like that. This is just the room we stayed in when we were there, in the second tower there. And Buddy on the hotel bed. And then we started off in Islands of Adventure that first day, because we were gonna do, this is the next day after the travel day. We started that morning in Islands of Adventure, and because we were going to studios later that night for Halloween Horror Nights. Plus, I was just so excited to get back to Islands of Adventure because it's my favorite area of the park. I say it all the time, but I love this lighthouse like a captain loves his ship. That is my favorite thing in the world. We started out, rode Velocicoaster first thing, because I had to. It'd been way too long since I've rode the Velocicoaster. I love that ride so much. Dylan rode with me that first time, and then I rode it a second time on my own. Got some chili cheese fries for lunch. I think about the chili cheese fries at the Burger Digs restaurant all the time, constantly. And surprise, Dandy's not actually my real name. It's just a nickname I go by. So if you see that, that's why you see that name in here. This was going to Horror Nights. I had a whole outfit that I put together just to go. We went back to the hotel so we could rest for a second, and then I changed into my Halloween Horror Nights outfit. Then we headed back, and it was really cool. I finally got a Twisted Tater this year. I've never got to get one before because the line for this food item is always so insanely long. But it was like 4 people right when we walked in, and I was like, if I don't get this now, I'm not gonna be able to get it. So I got it. It was garlic and Parmesan, and it was so good. Then we did our first house, which I wrote a little bit about here, but they don't let you record or take pictures or anything in the houses. But it was a Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. That's what it was called. And it was like the daughter of Dracula, the Bride of Frankenstein, She-Wolf, and they were all like duking it out, and the daughter of Van Helsing. And it was really cool. And I liked that one a lot just because it is Universal Monsters. And Nightmare Fuel. I finally got to see the like big show they do every year at Halloween Horror Nights. This is like an acrobatics pyrotechnics, and dancing, and everybody's dressed up cool, and it's awesome. They don't let you record there either, even though some people break that rule. I wasn't about to be kicked out because I was recording, especially since we got moved into the VIP section just by pure luck. So we pretty much got the best seat in the house just from pure luck. It was awesome. It was so cool. And if I could watch this over and over and over, I would. It was cool because even though the arena has like a roof on it, the walls aren't really actual walls, and it had started to storm, so you could see the lightning and stuff as the show was going on, and that was so super cool. And then we ran around, and I got to see the Death Eaters in Diagon Alley finally. They usually didn't come out till October, and they came out in, I think, the Hogsmeade section the other 2 years I went. And I always just barely missed them, so I'm so glad I got to see them this year finally. This is just me talking about Lil Boo. He's a mascot for Halloween Horror Nights, and I love him very much, and I got a fake planner of him because I do love him very much, and a cup to match. I'm actually drinking green tea out of this one right now. It's really cute. So, this is just a list of houses and other stuff that I got done, which I'll talk about in a second. What I'm going to talk about right now, we were in line for the Mummy ride, my favorite ride ever. We had not got to ride it yet, because I was saving it for Halloween Horror Nights. We are in the line, and then all the lights, like the big lights, flick on, just very suddenly. And I'm like, great, the ride broke down, because sometimes that happens. But then I heard the fire alarms, and everybody was rushing out, and we had to stand on the curb of the sidewalk there in the rain, pouring rain, until we figured out what was going on, because all of our stuff was in the ride locker, because they don't let you take your stuff onto the ride, so they're in a locker. And we are standing outside the Mummy ride for 20 minutes in the rain. It turns out some jerk just pulled the fire alarm, but kind of sucked, but you know, what can you do about it? And then they started up the ride like immediately after they got that sorted out. But it's definitely, at the time it kind of sucked, but it's definitely like a story now, like that's crazy that happened. So this is just a list of some of the stuff I actually got to get done at Halloween Horror Nights. We did 2 houses, the 2 I wanted to do, Universal Monsters and then Museum of Deadly Exhibits. It was like a haunted, rotten museum. It was okay. I kind of expected more out of it, but it was a lot easier to go through than Universal Monsters, because my problem usually with the haunted house is not that they scare me too much, it's just that they have speakers in them at Universal, and sometimes, especially with like shrieks and stuff, it's just way too loud for me, and so I was kind of sad that Universal Monsters was a little too loud for me. But Museum of Deadly Exhibits was really good too. Got to see Nightmare Fuel, got to see the Death Eaters, and then I got to see, because it started raining, a lot of the scare actors in the scare zones had to like step away for their safety, so a lot of the scare zones were empty by the time we were actually getting to go through them. But I did get to see Swamp of the Undead. That was really cool. And I got to see the Blumhouse one, which I could care less about. It's alright, whatever. I'm sure the Blumhouse movies are good, but I don't really care for them to be a whole scare zone on their own. So, it was okay, it was whatever. And I got to see the props and stuff for the Torture Fair scare zone, which I think that one was super cool even without the scare actors there. They even had some animatronics and stuff. And then I got to see the tribute store, because every year they do a tribute store and they theme it differently, so it's constantly changing. And then I got to eat a pizza skull, which is basically like I guess a calzone, but it's the size of your hand and it's shaped like a skull, and it's like the perfect food ever. And I got to try Twisted Tater, so that was pretty cool. This I have an explanation for. So on City Walk at Universal, there is a plane, usually, at this bar across from Margaritaville, and that plane is actually Jimmy Buffett's real actual seaplane. And it wasn't there this time, and I was kind of freaking out because it's become like sorry, my dog's barking. And usually it's there, of course, and it wasn't there this time. And it's become like an inside joke with me and all my friends and my sibling and stuff, that I talk about this plane every time I see it, just because it's cool. And it wasn't there this time, so I had to go in and I asked. I was like, please tell me what's going on with the plane. Turns out it's just getting like refurbished and retouched and stuff. But they had this cute sticker, and this is just too cute of a sticker to not get. This is actually a scan of the sticker. I put the actual one on my suitcase with my Orlando sticker. And then if you're a pass holder, you usually get like a free button or a magnet or something. And this time I got a Diagon Alley. It's the 10th anniversary for it, so I got that button. That was pretty cool. Then the next day we started out by riding Transformers, the ride 3D, because I love that ride and I love the Transformers. This is my wife Ratchet, you know, and here's Megatron and Optimus Prime. We rode that ride a few times. It was pretty cool. Got ice cream. My favorite ice cream ever is at in Diagon Alley at Universal. It is Earl Grey and lavender ice cream. It's so delicious. When I got pizza for lunch, I saw this Magneto standee, so I had to pretend like I was kissing his cheek. And then the next day, I started out going, oh my god, I haven't done any of the character meet and greets. So that was the first thing I did. There's Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, and then Green Goblin and Doctor Doom. They're always so cool to me, and now I finally have watched X-Men. So I, of course, had to meet them too. Rogue wasn't out, but that's okay, next time. And we went to early park admission, so we went straight back to Hogsmeade also, and I got to finally ride Flight of the Hippogriff. It's kind of like a little kiddie ride, but it's still fun anyway. And the theming's neat. I got my special drink that I usually get. It's orange juice, brown sugar, cinnamon. They put brown sugar cinnamon around the top with an orange slice. It's good. I get it every time I go. This is just a list of some of the rides I did, and how many times I did some of them. And then we got chicken tenders. Well, I got chicken tenders and Dylan got a burger for lunch. Finally got my Bruce photo this trip. I always take this same picture in this same pose every single time that I go. This one is a little personal, so I'm not going to show that one, but this is just some arcade cards that we got, because Dill got a bunch of arcade credits. And then this is just me talking about the Transformers, and that is cool that I finally like the Transformers, so all that means a little bit more to me now. But none of the meet and greets happened for the Transformers. I guess they were maintaining some of their suits, so I was kind of bummed, but that's okay, next time. And this is just like the end. I was talking about a shirt that I bought. This is kind of like the merch that I got. If you guys are interested ever in merch hauls, let me know, I guess, because I feel like that's something, I don't want to come off like I'm bragging, but I love to talk about things that I love. I didn't really get a lot, but I got some things, you know. And this is from one of the card decks that I got. These are the photos that are on the bags that you get when you buy something. I didn't cut out the Minions because I hate the Minions, but I got those 3. This is just me flying home, and then this is where, I mean, the last half of the last like third of this book is kind of just me like bullshitting. These are just cutouts from some of the things that I bought for me and my sibling. I got these tiny little die-cast Transformers. Actually, hang on, I'm gonna show them to you. At least a couple of them. Okay, I got some of my favorites. So here's Hot Rod. They're like little tiny things, but they're metal and they're really cute. Oops. And then I figure it's like the only way I'm gonna ever get the Secret Shrine without spending $5 trillion on them. So there's Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker, and I love them so much. I'll put them back up in a minute. And I just kind of put, like, we divided them up because it was a pack of like 18 of them, so we divided them up between each other. So I just kind of put who got who. This is just packaging cutouts, and that's it. So that is my traveler's notebook for this last trip to Universal. I still need to put 2024 on here because I forgot to do that, but that's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this little flip through, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!